Hello, hopefully I'm back up. If there's no one left here, that's okay. I mean, that happens. I didn't want to leave that hanging, though. My computer blue screened. It's concerning, because it's done that recently. If there is anybody left out there, though. Thank you very much for finding this again. Obviously, this is not an easy thing to do. But anyways, I was in the middle of writing this hero's journey, and I think I wanted to finish it, so at least people watching back later could see it. So where was I? I said that the squirrel that Smudge was working with identifies. There we go. Let's switch over to that one. The squirrel here identifies his worst fear face. So we were in the middle of the blade is loud, surrounded by the giants, and the skies are darkened by menacing ravens, of which Smudge has heard many terrible things. Oop, thinks I'm making a note. No notes. No, leave me alone. I don't know. Stop it. There you go. Heard many terrible things. Okay, and then just let me throw something in here. I guess I'm just letting some people know because I see I'm getting some text saying that it crashed. Oh, no. That's the wrong one here. Letting some people there's my own haunting voice. And this is so compelling. I'll just timestamp it. Hey, GS, you're back. I got some messages from people about, hey, what happened? So I'm just catching up there. So hope it doesn't crash again. I would greatly prefer that it didn't. And there we are. Okay. Well, now I've eaten up a bunch of time, so. Trials. The squirrel identifying communicates to Smudge that the giants seem to really like a big green thing with a spinning blade. The blade is loud, surrounded by the giants. The skies are darkened by the menacing ravens, of which Smudge has heard many terrible things. He must draw the giants away, which he does by stealing their sandwich and running courageously to pass it to the squirrel. Then he must stealth past the swooping, menacing ravens, and finally, ... the approach, the hero's worst fear. Smudge must approach the saw, but it is left running and sounds exactly like the vacuum. Crisis lowest point. So he tries to drag the saw and disable it, but crisis. The saw tips and traps his tail. He yells and can see the giants. GS says the sandwich stealing was inspired. Oh, thank you. The saw tips and traps his tail. That's the wrong spelling of tail. He yells and can see the giants are alerted and returning in haste. He fools them by hissing and growling, causing them to believe him a better warrior than he is. They untrap his tail. Keep misspelling that. Falling prey to his tricks. Treasure. However, it seems Smudge was successful. His pole destroyed the screaming machine of the giants, and with its demise, they depart. His owners reward him with snacks for his victory, whispering their praises in their own tongues, such things as "Get back here" and "How did he get out?" and "Psst, psst. Who wants a treat?" Great bardic songs of their people. GS says, I thought the machine was a lawnmower. I'll explain where I'm getting this from in a minute, but that's a fair assumption. I already gave the result, so I've melded this together. This part here, I'll just sort of copy and paste to show that it was done. His pole destroyed the screaming machine and the giants, and with its demise, they depart. Return. So now we gotta go back to his house. Smudge returns to his house and his warmth, though it fits a little differently now. And then we have to establish the new life, which will connect to that thought. When his nemesis, the vacuum, next roars to life, Smudge stands his ground, only partially under the bed, and hisses at it with a newfound confidence. Resolution: Smudge knows he's the owner now. All right. So I'll summarize that, and then I'm gonna give you my garlic bread story, and then I will call it there. Obviously, you know, having the stream crash affects things. For those who came back, thank you for coming back. Okay, so status quo. Smudge is a sleepy cat who lolls about his owner's house, doing little and getting fat. Call to adventure. Giant invaders surround his home with mysterious intentions and make terrifying noises. So this is because we had some people come by and fix some stuff on the outside of our house, on the basement level near the windows, and Smudge was terrified of them. Call to adventure. Giant invaders surrounding his home with mysterious intentions and make terrifying noises. Only Smudge can stop them. Assistance. Smudge ventures to the attic, befriends a squirrel who is cautious as Smudge has tried to kill him, but Smudge assures that he means only to defend their home from this threat. However, Smudge cannot get past the boundaries of the house. The squirrel, who is also distressed by the invaders, agrees to help unlock a door that will allow Smudge out. We never named the squirrel. If anybody has a name for the squirrel, let me know. Smudge ventures leashless into the cold and open and many-smelled world. There was wet grass that chills his toe beans, but he musters his courage and carries on despite the toe beans. This world is full of roaring beasts, hulking giants, and menacing smells. The squirrel identifies and communicates to Smudge that the giants seem to really like a big green thing with a spinning blade. The blade is loud, surrounded by the giants, and the skies are darkened by the menacing ravens, of which Smudge has heard many terrible things. He must draw the giants away, which he does by stealing their sandwich and running courageously to pass it to the squirrel. Then he must stealth past the swooping, menacing ravens, and finally, Smudge must approach the saw. But it is left running and sounds exactly like the vacuum. His greatest fear. I'll just add here. He tries to drag the saw and disable it, but the saw tips and traps his tail. He yowls and can see the giants are alerted and returning in haste. He fools them by hissing and growling, causing them to believe him a better warrior than he is. They untrap his tail, falling prey to his tricks. However, it seems Smudge was still successful. His pull destroyed the screaming machine of the giants with its demise. They depart. His owners reward him with snacks for his victory, whispering their praises in their own tongues, such things as "get back here," and "how did he get out," and "psst, psst, 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 who wants a treat?" Great bardic songs of their people. His pull destroyed the screaming machines of the giants, and with its demise, the giants depart, I should say. Return. Smudge returns to his house and his warmth, though it fits a little differently now. When his nemesis, the vacuum, next roars to life, Smudge stands his ground only partially under the bed and hisses at it with a newfound confidence. Smudge knows he's the owner now. GS says, press his story, write a children's book. Yeah, so, I mean, the point I'm trying to get across is that, like, hero's journey is kind of what most stories are. Well, I guess not most stories, but a lot of popular stories are that way. So, like, I'm not going to read the whole thing because it wasn't particularly good, but just to give you an idea, like, my garlic bread one that I literally just wrote as a joke to myself was mostly about like for example, the assistance he received was, you know, garlic bread doesn't want to dehydrate, so he had to get a special silver cape, which was just tinfoil, right? And go to these fields because there was sun everywhere that would have dehydrated him, and so on. And he had to stop the rot, figure out the cure, which he determines is actually the sun, and you know, it's basically mold and things like that. I mean, there's a bunch of little details to it, but I mean, if it was good, I would be reading it. But my point is, like, Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, basically any Marvel movie, oh, I mean, it's not just stuff like that, but those are kind of the big ones. They all basically follow this monomyth because we like it. I mean, who doesn't like that moment where, like, you know the story, the call to adventure. Like, the call to adventure is like the trailer of the show. You know, he picks up the token and his hand starts to glow and he realizes he has powers. Like, that's call to adventure stuff. That's fun. It's fun, right? Which is the point. Okay, well, we've had smoother. I think we've had rougher, but we've had smoother streams. Thanks for everybody who came back. If you didn't, that's fine. I mean, it didn't work out well, so that's fine. Nonetheless, as per usual, like and subscribe if you haven't already. If you haven't liked it, this video obviously different than the last one, so if you could help with both. And I hope you guys have a good week, but you know, now I gotta shut the shop. So thanks so much for everybody coming by, and stick around for a cool new outro that portends what the weeks to come will bring. Thank you so much. Have a good night. Get out of my shop.